Good afternoon, friends. It's James Finnerty here of Rewind Electric, and apparently my title as of late is The Shepherd, because I'm running with rams like mad here. So this is my third ram's head Big Muff. Just gave it a listen yesterday for the very first time, and man, was it smoking good. So the other two I have are both awesome sounding. The first one I got was really, really big and fat, but it's really complex and rich sounding. Tons of harmonic content, a lot of character to it. The second one I got was a bit tighter and a bit more defined and kind of nice. Maybe not as wild and crazy though. This one, much tighter, much more controlled. It's got some mids when you crank the volume up, even straight into a Fender amp, which the Fender amp could not handle doing that on the other two. It just would get farty. You'd have to have an electric mistress following the Big Muff to really take that volume and tame it down and let it become more of a mid-range boost than a volume boost. So all three of them are different. They also all three have different knobs. This is an early one, as noted by the non-off graphics. So it was the first one I got. The middle one is probably 73, 74. It's got the on and off graphics. So we listened to it yesterday and had a quick look at it, but today I'd like to actually take it apart, give it a closer look, and see what's going on there. Now, it's got these super cool knobs. I have seen others with these knobs, so I'm going to consider these to be original unless somebody has a very compelling reason why they're not. Tread plate. And this has just a really nice, clean case too. As far as I can tell, everything's original. These are the Japanese jacks. I can tell upside down because I know the shape of them. This looks like the original battery clip. This is the original Carling switch. And from what I can see on these angles, these are the original pots, which we'll find out in a minute. This UID switch is also original, and it did give me some trouble yesterday if you watched the audio demo, and I would suggest you go back and do. Anyone who watched that will see that. And that's just typical for these, so nothing surprising there. We'll just have to give it a listen and see if it does it again, and then we'll clean it out. In fact, we'll clean it out either way. Oh, these are getting chewed up. I'm going to need another set of these rocket sockets. Yeah, boy, I might need another set of them today. I don't have another set. Okay. Gonna use a real socket then. Keep my half-inch handy for just such occasions. Now this is overkill. Way overkill. Sure does work nice though. Remind me in 2 hours to order new rocket sockets. I'm not talking to you guys, I'm talking to her.
Okay, I added order new rocket sockets for this evening at 8:32 p.m.
These have been problematic to remove lately. No, 14 just doesn't want to do it. So, I think the trick to that is to use a wrench that I can't reach right now. Nope. Aha. Seem to be missing my half-inch wrench. I think I have been for a while too, which is really lame. I mean, it's somewhere. Hey, wait. Is that it? And look at that. I found my half-inch wrench. I just had to look at this case from a very funny angle. It was seated between two other larger ones, hidden from view. Okay, so if you can't get that one off without marring it, you can go to the back. Tell me this is it's not a 14, is it? Or I mean, it's not a half-inch, is it? Okay, well, hey, I still found my half-inch wrench, even if it's not going to work for this job. I still found it. Just going to keep it out, I guess. 14. Okay. So you can back that one off a little bit, and that'll loosen up the rest. And you can take the front off. Because if you were to do that on the front with like these, like I have done in the past on some others, you can scratch it up. I was very careful. But still. Man, these are all on there good. These have probably never been off. Any of them. This is like the cleanest Big Muff I've ever seen. All right. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. I'm really interested in this one. I've documented 5 now. No, is this the 5th? Yeah, 3 ram's heads and 2 triangles so far. In a detailed way on a spreadsheet, meaning every component documented, measured, and written down. Look at that. Guys, this is beautiful. So beautiful. Look at that. That is 100% original. 100% factory. It's got the light MC7 boards, which I thought were a sign of an earlier one. However, I thought these shiny red film caps were signs of later ones. These are the FS36999? Yes. Yes, with the 222 code. Yep, all 4 are the FS36999 Fairchild. Those are NPN transistors. I do want to see the pot dates, but I want to do so, oh my gosh, so cautiously. Okay, so I think the date's on this side. Let's just quick look. I'm going to use a flashlight. I might even use a mirror because I don't really want to be messing with these more than I have to. 1377320, 1973, 20th week. One 1377320. Maybe I won't even look at that middle one. Let's see. Does it bend easily? Watch, I'm going to touch this and go snap. I'm going to ruin it. Okay, it had a dust bunny under there, so I've just justified my doing that. 137 73 Oh, it's not a 2-0. Now I really want to know what it is. Mirror. One 137 73 28. All right. And you can tell that is the tone knob. Okay. All right. Nice little close up here in focus, hopefully, so that I can get these resistor values documented. There's another one up here. I'm not going to bend that. Let's see if we can get that. It's a looks like 3 oranges, which is and a silver tolerance band. So yeah, 330 ohms or 33K. I forget. I'm not great at that, honestly. Sorry, guys. I would like to be. But I know tropical fish codes, so hey, I bet you don't know that. I also know most of the Celestion speaker codes. There's just stuff that I know and remember because I use it more often. Kind of surprised I don't know resistors. I'll make it a point to learn them. Okay, there's no components on the rear of this. Correct, yes, correct. This one's built really nice. Looks like somebody put a lot of care into it. There are some long legs sticking out, like they weren't trimmed very short, but that's okay. The traces are very clean. It's definitely the cleanest of all three. Maybe a clean layout equals a clean sound. And the tight bolts equal a tight low end. That's my theory. Tight nuts. I said bolts, tight nuts. Tight nuts. I think you just earned your name, Tight Nuts. All right. I like to give these guys names. Okay. I'm going to go through and read the cap values, as I like to do. And we'll just kind of do them in order, top to bottom, right to left. So, although we're going to go by similar types. This guy here is a 0.1 microfarad, 100 volt, 20%. I'll just read everything it says on it for the heck of it. It says 0.1 plus minus 20% dash LY. And then it says 100 volt. Looks like it says 96. Okay. All right, I'm not going to do that on all of them. Just that. This also is a 0.1. I'll bet you that all these big ones are. 0.1. 0.1. 0.1. 0.1. 0.1. And guess what? 0.1. Okay. Now let's do these little guys here, starting with this one. This is a Z5V, which is the type of material. It's an RMC cap, 0.004, 20%, 100 volts. That is what we expect. That's the treble capacitor. These little guys here are Z5Us. Well, at least this one is. I'm not going to count on those being the same. They look different. And, oh boy, does it say anything that I can read? That's a good question. Let's see. Maybe you guys can see it on the camera. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a Circle D. Although I forget what that is. It is not Dearborn. Can somebody tell me? Please remind me. It's some other company that starts with a D. Daily? No. Anyway, it's a 560 picofarad capacitor. I mean, it says 560 and it's tiny, so I'm assuming it's a 560 picofarad because that's a typical value for that position. Now these guys here, this is a RMC. It is a Z5U and it's a 470 picofarad. Plus 80 minus 20. This is an RMC 470 picofarad Z5U and plus 80 minus 20. So these two are the same. Is this the last cap down here? This is the base cap, and it's a 0.01. It's a 2 in a circle, which is a Sprague cap. These are the same types of caps that you'll see in early 60s Gibson guitars, although there'll be a 0.022 and a little bit larger. This is a 50 volt 0.01, and that is the base cap again. Okay. All right, I don't know that there's anything else that really needs exploring here. I will hold it up steady so you guys can do a screen capture and look up all the resistor values if you want to. They're all very clean. And these are all 100K linear pots, by the way. Which in the case of the Electro-Harmonix pots, you can tell by the color of the shaft, actually. Now, there's some that'll throw you off because there's white, and then there's also cream, and there's yellow, and they can all look a bit the same. But they're not. They're all different. All right. Last thing that I want to do here before I put this back together is take that case and a little bit of this here Delaney brand naphtha. If you're not using Delaney brand naphtha, you're wrong. And we're going to clean it up. And I don't have my gloves in here. Great. Okay. Just going to try and be a responsible individual. Wear my gloves, but no. I guess we won't be doing that. Woo, boy, splashy, splashy. Okay. Somebody tell me what they sprayed these with as far as clear. There's a clear coat over the screen printing. You know, it doesn't seem to be nitrocellulose or it'd be chipping off. So you can say, oh, it's poly. But you know what? There's more than just nitro and poly in the world. Us guitar people sometimes forget that. They're not the only clear coats that there are or were. So yeah, let me know, because Electro-Harmonix did that on all of them. And I'd kind of like to know what it is. I saw a triangle Big Muff. It's on Reverb right now. You guys can go look at it. And it's about, I think it's, if you sort by price, it'll be one of the cheapest triangles. It's like $900 or something. The only one cheaper has had all the guts replaced. And this one has had the case replaced. And the case was made... the description says the case was made by like a machinist or a sheet metal guy or something like that. Okay, nothing shocking there. It's a bent metal case, and this one, I guess the guy used stainless steel, which I think is incorrect. I believe these are, yes, they are magnetic. Plus the rust. You know, these are ferric steel. Carbon steel, you might say. Where was I going? Oh yeah. So the guy had one made, which is not an amazing feat in itself, but the printing on it looked pretty good. So I don't know if he had a silk screen made or if he found those lettering, those like rub-on letters, rub-off letters. I don't know what you call them. People who know will know. And maybe he found a sheet of those and recreated it. But man, it looked good. Maybe I'll just reach out to him and compliment him and ask him. Look, there's a little bit of solder there. That's from the factory. Oh, that might have just... I don't know if that was on there or if I put it on there from something on my bench. Either way, it's fallen off. It wasn't made to be on there. Okay. All right. One more little wipe down. Suppose I can get the other side of the case too. Thorough. All right. A little picture of Robert Plant there. I'm going to say that joke until you find it funny. I think where I got that from is a customer once at a music shop I worked at was describing asked him what kind of big muff he was talking about that he had. Say he had a vintage one. And he said it was the one with the picture of Ronnie James Dio on it. I thought about it, I was like, it looks more like Robert Plant, so I'm gonna modify my joke. I don't think he was joking though, but it made a good joke, didn't it? Because it does kind of look like Robert Plant, especially if you've ever seen the like actual illustrated art that came from, which is a bigger piece. It's a little bit more elaborate. Electro-Harmonix used the full one later on in marketing, like in the 2000s, I think. Or maybe that is the original and they just made it as if it had been bigger. I don't know. Whatever. You kind of get the point. Okay. So what mods do you think I should do on this? I mean, you think I should like drill a hole and put an AC jack in there and like a 9-volt barrel connector? That's popular. Oh, maybe I could add some more gain to it, or true bypass. Yeah. Gosh, what other mods can we do to this amazing vintage? Nothing? But yes, nothing. We're gonna do nothing to it. Because it sounds amazing and it's original and it's a piece of history. And if I wanted one with those, hey, look at that. It is truly an Electro-Harmonix pedal because the battery clip did break off. That is a requirement for vintage electronics pedal, Electro-Harmonix pedals. You cannot take one apart without something breaking on it. I guess we'll have to do that true bypass high gain DC power mod now, right? No, I don't care at all that came off. I'll just tack it right back on where it was. As I said, that is absolutely expected. Dogs are going nuts. Dogs don't want me joking about modding vintage pedals. They don't like that. I'm not really gonna mod it. You hear them barking? Going nuts. They're like, somebody is here threatening your vintage pedals. We must warn you. Look, you want to prove that I knew that these are Japanese? Check it out. There you go. Those are the Japanese jacks. All right, now this guy was sitting right there on the corner. I feel like this could be rotated a little bit. Is that better? I guess it was okay. It just that red lead is a little tight, but I mean it was original. It is original. I don't want to mess with it. Okay. No, for tightening it, you can do the same thing. I'll just turn the switch a little bit and it'll be good. All right. And that's how you tighten those without marring the front. There it goes. Didn't want to grab. Beautiful. Now look at that. Tell me what's wrong with that. Which solder joint looks better or more original, you know? All right. Check this battery. I think it's a fresh one from yesterday. I just want to make sure. Never gonna buy these again after the thing I went through where like 2/3 of them were bad. I sent them back. I mean, of course I sent them back, but they were all open. I hope the manufacturer or the seller takes them back. This read almost 9.6 volts, by the way, so yeah, it's new. Okay. There it is. Just remarkably beautiful. I really am looking forward to doing a comparison of this to my other Rams heads, like an AB. I'll do a video. An ABC. In fact, perhaps an ABC D. Could be that there's another Rams head. They just all sound so different. It's not that I want a lot of them. It's that I'm doing a classic vintage overdrive shootout, and so I need to include one that really represents the Rams heads properly. All right. These are kind of cool knobs. I don't know what these are called, if they have a name. Let's give it a, well, let's put the wrenches away. And then we'll give it a quick listen. Just a brief spin. I'm going to make a huge deal of it. Alright, this is Dime.
Some people actually run these like this. Sustain and tone down, volume all the way up. How could you do that? There we go. Little crackle that needed to be worked out. Anyway, tone halfway up. That might sound okay to the clip where it's a very warm amp. Oh. Getting a little crackle on that switch, maybe. Yeah. Clean that up in a second. Okay, we'll clean it up right now. Yeah, you hear it? All right. Gotta open it up. Gotta open it back up. This is the wrong set of screwdriver. Ugh. Maybe it wasn't. Just this case is. Well, it's a folded metal case, is what it is, with these factory. What do they call? They're not self-tapping thread cutters. That's what they are. Sheet metal screws, thread cutters. Thread cutter sounds like a Mad Max character. Okay. Getting that switch here. That's really all there is to cleaning these out. And then you try it. And you say, did that do it? Okay. Little paper towel. And clean up the spray. Now, I guess I could blast a little in the pot too. That was giving me some grief, wasn't it?
Maybe this is why Electro-Harmonix did these weird pot things. So you can get a blast in there. Pretty sad. All right. And that remainder of the hissing is not crackle. That's just the sound of 4 transistors and 4 clipping diodes from the 70s. Built by Electro-Harmonix and designed by Dave Weir and... Is it Weir? Dave Meyer, maybe. Dave Meyer? Meyer? I don't remember. I think it's Dave Weir. And Mike Matthews. I'm pretty sure the mission was, how can we make boxes with all of these really cheap surplus parts we got that make sound for guitarists while smoking all this marijuana? You didn't think those fatties that Mike Matthews always has in his mouth were Cuban stogies, did you? Okay. Now, that's gonna be real loud. There you go, nice crisp on and off pop. Not a bunch of crackle. See, more crackle. Tap on it. Good boy.
I said it was going to be a quick test. That went overboard, but we had to fix the switch. So, guys, this is my favorite ram's head in the world. It's my favorite non-triangle Big Muff that I've ever heard. I'm very happy. I gotta say, though, that first one I got with the reactor tower knobs is also my favorite. So they're both favorites. And really, the last one I got, Shady, that had the replaced pots and everything else, it's also excellent. It really is. And it is possible that when I replace those pots, and I will, I'm going to put some vintage correct pots, some Electro-Harmonix pots in there. It is possible. I don't know. I mean, they're 100K pots, and I'm putting in 100K pots, but, you know, I just pulled 3 60 stack pole 100K pots out of something else last night, and they read between like 72 and 89K, you know, whereas others that are 100K pots might read 120K, and that's within the 20% tolerance of their original build quality. Much less later on today, they could read more or less and have drifted outside of their original build quality. Or it could also be the Electro-Harmonix was buying pots that were never within their original stated tolerance anyway. They were buying the cheap discount stuff that was outside of the tolerance range. That sounds very likely. So the short version of that story is that when I change the pots in that, it might change the sound, because I might be going from a 70K, a 70K, and 100K to 120K, 120K, and a 90K. You know, I mean, you never know. So it could really flip things around. Now I will measure them, and I will think about that as I change them out. There, since it falls in the middle of the other two, there's some room there to say, you know, hey, I've got a 70K and a 110K pot. Which one would I like in the tone position? I can do that, and that's it's one of the very few things that's awesome about being me. All right, guys, have a good night. See ya.